Okay, this time we have a fraction one with an inequality. However, what we notice about it is there's not a 0 on this side. So if there's not a 0, we have to first get a 0 on this side to begin with. So the first thing I want to do is I want to bring the 1 across the inequality sign. So I have this, and I have minus 1. I'm going to leave a space because I want to get some common denominators here in a second. Greater than or equal to 0. So I'll leave it like that. So the way I have it in the form right now is that I need to get this to be a single fraction. Before you do any number line method or table method, you have to make sure that you have a single fraction here, and that's why we have to get common denominators. I'm going to multiply top and bottom by x minus 4. Okay. That's my common denominator that I'm putting in there, so that's why I'm making both of them the same, so I multiply top and bottom there. Okay, so by doing that I get x plus 2 over, I have x minus 4 as my common denominator down below there. And then I'm going to do, I have a minus, and then x minus 4 here, greater than or equal to 0. So I need to simplify all this now to get it to be one fraction. So if I multiply out that negative, I get negative x plus 4, all that over x minus 4. Greater than or equal to 0. So just distributed the minus sign through. Now you want to add like terms. Now the x's are going to cancel, but then you have 2 plus 4 gives you 6. So you get 6 over x minus 4 is going to be greater than or equal to 0. So this is the one that we're going to work with. I'm not going to use any of the other forms. This is the one I want to work with when I'm setting up my table or doing my number line. Let's do the table one first. The table is going to be made up of both pieces that you see here. So I'm going to put 6 on my table and x minus 4 on my table. So now what I have on here is the first column is just my two factors there, but I want to put the number that makes the bottom 0. Now in this case the number that makes the bottom 0 is going to be 4. I only have one number that makes that true, so therefore 4 is the only one that goes in my table. Don't forget to make one more column beyond your last 0. And in this case, this is the 4 is the only one that you have, so therefore you've got some stuff before 4 and then you have things after 4 that you're going to use on this. And so when you do your test point, that's all you're looking for. Numbers before 4 and numbers after 4. We're going to test a number less than 4. We're going to use 0. That's an easy one to try. Greater than 4, we're going to use 5. You're going to put them into each of these expressions. Now if you try and put 0 into this one, you can't put 0 in for anything. That's going to be 6 no matter what. So 6 is always going to be positive, so I'm going to put a plus there. In fact, I'll put a plus on that one as well. There's nothing to plug in for it. 6 is always positive, that's why the whole top row is going to be pluses. 0 goes in the bottom one, 0 minus 4 is negative, and 5 minus 4 is going to be positive, so now I have that one. You're going to multiply down each of the columns that you have. If you multiply down here, you get negative. Multiply that, you're going to get positive. So now when you write our answer, we need to write numbers that are greater than or equal to 0. Now normally I would put 4 to infinity with a bracket. However, in this case, you don't want to actually include the 4 because it makes the bottom one equal to 0. So in this case, I'm going to write 4 comma infinity. 4 with a parenthesis on it, not a bracket. Even though this was an equal sign, and normally I would include a bracket there, the 4 makes the bottom one 0. So again, you don't want to actually include the number that makes the bottom 0, so that's why I have a parenthesis there. It's going to go to infinity because that's the region that has a plus sign after it. So this would be your answer for this problem, would be from 4 to infinity, not including the 4. Now if you're going to do number line method, we're only going to have one number on there. We're going to have 4. That's the only one that makes the top or bottom equal to 0. Nothing on top is ever going to be 0, so that's why you only have one number there. You're going to use your same test numbers, 0 and 5. But when you test them, you're going to put them actually into, definitely don't want to use this one. Don't use the original one because you want to make sure if something's positive or negative, and the only way you can do that is if you have a 0 on that side. So we're going to use this version, not the one with the 1 on it. When you plug those in, you'll use this one. So if you're testing at 0, then you have 6 over 0 minus 4. That gives you a negative number. So I don't care about the actual number itself. I'm only concerned about whether it's positive or negative. You get negative, minus sign's going to go in there. Then you're going to test at 5. 6 over 5 minus 4. That one you get a plus. So you get a plus there. So notice we get exactly the same sign configuration as before. You get a negative and plus. That means that you're going to get exactly the same answer as before. Again, we're just doing it two different ways. You don't need to show both methods. Just learn one and stick to that one would be the best. So if you want the number line or if you want the table, those are both two separate processes, but both of them will allow you to get from 4 to infinity.